Okay, guys, I'm going to try and do part two of this Rolling Stone article. I haven't been able to get it up on the screen. It's not letting me read it, so I'm having to do it off my phone. But Rolling Stone have somehow got a 27-minute video of Brigitte Kruse and Priscilla Presley signing contracts. So this is all a big hot potato at the moment. A lot of people are discussing the lawsuits between Brigitte and Priscilla. Even Joe at Rare Elvis Photos did a video on it last night. I've got a feeling another YouTube channel did as well. I just want you guys to know that I am trying to learn here as an Elvis fan that defends Elvis and his bloodline. I'm trying to understand what's happening here. Now, Joe is very quick to sort of really to take Bridget's side and to try. I think he, in his conversations with Brigitte, I think he very much sees things from her point of view. I don't. I'm like, these are business people. It's all about money. It's all about profit. I do think that there has been some wrongdoing from Priscilla and from Brigitte. That's just an opinion, isn't it? I can't prove that. So I very much want to learn what's going on before I start taking sides with Brigitte, which is how it felt when I watched Joe's video at Rare Elvis Photos. Now, I really love Joe. He's a great guy. I personally think he's jumped the gun a bit. I think we need to hold our horses and see how this plays out before we start really making decisions on who is right and who is wrong. Ultimately, we are here as Elvis fans and his bloodline, and we defend that. We come from that point of view. I won't be won over by a good personality. I need more facts from Priscilla and from Brigitte. So I want to quickly read part two of this write-up. So we've already read part one. I've already uploaded it. This is part two. So it's the Rolling Stone article. And don't forget, I want to find the 27-minute video that shows Priscilla and Brigitte signing these contracts. Yeah, with a lawyer present. So where are we? Okay, so let me just see something. Presley says, taking the documents and flipping to a prior page, the lawyer asked if she's looking for the percentage. Presley says yes. The lawyer flips to the owner's breakdown page. I do want to talk to her about this. Presley says, referring to Kruse, Walker Wright. So Walker Wright obviously is the lawyer. I'm a little bit worried about that because the lawyer was representing both of them. That ain't right, in my opinion. So then sets that contract aside. At this point, Presley makes the comment that she's glad she didn't have to read all the contracts. So she didn't read the contracts properly, which is a massive mistake, yeah? In a statement sent to Rolling Stone, Presley's lawyer, Wayne Harmon, says his client stands by her claim that Kruse and Fialco took advantage of her. Miss Presley trusted Miss Kruse and Mr. Fialco and believed them when they promised that their efforts to have complete control over her finances were for Mrs. Presley's benefit. I mean, come on, complete control of finances. That just don't feel right to me, guys. Why would Priscilla even do it? It doesn't make sense. It's such a massive step. Obviously, some people say she's desperate and all that, and she was in trouble financially, but come on, guys. This is big. This isn't just your average person. This is Priscilla. This is a very, very wealthy woman who has spent her life being very, very wealthy. So it just, all of it doesn't make sense. Miss Presley discovered that the extent of what they had done, including all she alleges in the complaint, transferring hundreds of thousands of dollars from her bank account to their bank account. Obviously, that is very worrying if it's true. And declaring that they had majority interest in Miss Presley's own name, image, and likeness. In perpetuity, she was devastated. Harmon says Fialco and his lawyer did not respond to a request for comment. So don't forget, it does seem that in hindsight, after Priscilla had signed these contracts, she was gutted. She was gutted, regretted it massively, and then decides to make a massive U-turn. And the next stage is elder abuse. Obviously, we know that Brigitte Kruse serves a lawsuit because she feels she's owed money because Priscilla ghosted her. Priscilla acted as if she had never signed these contracts. Yeah. Just everything I'm saying now is alleged for entertainment purposes, just opinions. At another point in the video, Presley asks if it's even an option for her to act as trustee of her own trust while she's still alive, and only designate Kruse and Iverson as successors co-trustees, meaning that they would take over only after Presley's death. That is worrying. So the lawyer, Walker Wright, says she can. Kruse then steps in, advising Presley that it's best to make them co-trustee ahead of time. So even this worries me. It's the inevitable anyways. Kruse says, "You're always going to be the boss." Kruse assures Presley, "I don't think so." Presley says with a laugh. Even that, don't know, guys. The video ends up with Walker Wright leaving the room so Presley could speak with Kruse about the recollection contract. Though it's not shown on camera, the document was eventually signed that day. It was later attached as an exhibit to court filings in the civil cases. I get the feeling that Priscilla started to realise something isn't right here, but she did still go ahead and sign things. In a second video for the same day, also obtained by Rolling Stone, Presley is heard describing why she decided to designate Kruse as her medical power of attorney. "I trust her and she's been through this, and I've watched her with someone very close to her, and I was impressed with the love and care and the attention that she gave the loved one. And I trust her with me." Presley says, reached by phone. Kruse says Presley was referring to her efforts caring for a longtime friend who died of cancer. Speaking to Rolling Stone, Kruse denies taking advantage of Presley. Kruse says she was working for Presley 7 days a week leading up to the dispute, thoroughly discussed with her the ownership breakdowns of the various companies. She claimed Presley agreed to the percentages before the signing meeting because she agreed Kruse and Fialka were doing nothing, the heavy lifting in terms of monetizing her intellectual property. Presley still owns her first name, Priscilla, but she previously forfeited her right to exploit the Presley surname when she received $6.5 million payment in a deal back in 2005. That's when they sold off Elvis Presley Enterprises, 85% of it. I truly cared for this woman like I would my own parent. Kruse says, "I never needed to hook my wagon to Priscilla Presley. As a matter of fact, the worst mistake I ever made was trying to help her." Well, she's saying that in hindsight, isn't she? Come on, they were all trying to make big money. Priscilla wanted money, Brigitte wanted money, Priscilla was in trouble. Come on. This was always about money, and that is why it concerns me. This is business, big business. So, in the elder abuse lawsuit, Presley and her lawyer blasted Walker Wright, saying her decision to videotape her own client, especially with Kruse in the room, crossed the line. In her sworn statement, Walker Wright stood by her actions. "I have videotaped other clients executing estate planning and other documents in the past. If I had any concerns that a document would possibly later be contested," she said. Lynn Walker Wright categorically denies any claims of elder abuse or any claims in the lawsuit by Miss Presley. So, yeah, so Lynn Walker Wright has now become the enemy. Remember, she's supposed to be the Priscilla's acting lawyer. See, so the dispute is with Lynn Walker Wright as well then. Her wrongdoing of the way she handled these contracts, the way these contracts were signed. So, Lynn Walker Wright sounds to me like she's in trouble as well, doesn't it, guys? Am I wrong? Tell me if I'm wrong. It's just an opinion. Jennifer Eden says in a statement, Rolling Stone, that she says that Presley dismissed all claims against my client, nothing that the claims were dropped with prejudice, meaning they cannot be filed. In her preemptive lawsuit filed first in 2023, Kruse alleged that Presley illegally walked out on their agreement when her financial circumstances changed in the wake of Lisa Marie Presley's death. Rolling Stones previously reported 2 weeks after Lisa Marie died, on January the 12th, 2023, Presley challenged a 2016 amendment to her daughter's trust that removed her as co-trustee. Presley later reached a settlement with granddaughter Riley Q and granted $1 million lump sum, an annual salary, and burial rights near to Elvis. Kruse claimed that once Presley's financial situation changed, she cut off all communication with Kruse and excluded her from opportunities to capitalize on Sofia Coppola Priscilla's film adaptation of Presley's memoir, Elvis and Me. Kruse also claimed that Presley redirected the request booking button on her personal website to an email address not associated with Priscilla Presley Partners, an alleged violation of their partnership. Speaking to Rolling Stones, Kruse calls Presley's elder abuse lawsuit heartbreaking, saying it took a wrecking ball to her reputation and career, and it has been ruined because I tried to help her. But Presley and her lawyers aren't backing down. They claim Kruse and Fialco attached themselves to Presley to boost their own profiles. In the suit, they accuse the pair of having the audacity to demand that Priscilla's settlement with Q over Lisa Marie's death includes a promise that Q would do her best to get Kruse and Fialco invited to Priscilla's eventual funeral. In a declaration filed in March, Presley also claimed Kruse attempted to get a credit on Priscilla and that her interference strained Presley's relationship with Sofia Coppola. Okay, so that's the first time I've heard that. Okay, so financial elder abuse is an extremely serious matter that often goes unreported, and perpetrators are often those closest to the victim. Those who have gained the victim's trust and isolated him or her from her family and friends and trusted advisors, Herman says. Right, so we're getting to the end of it. The circumstances leading up to Miss Presley's claims in this case are not easy for her to discuss, but she gained the courage to take action by knowing that it will bring awareness to a significant problem. He says, we look forward to the court holding defendants fully accountable for their actions. At Kruse's business lawsuit and Presley elder abuse complaint continue to unfold on separate coasts, the parties are waging a fierce battle over which court is the right venue for Kruse. Kruse has been fighting to have all aspects heard in Florida, where she lives, and alleges she was wronged. Presley is fighting for California, where she lives, and alleges that she was the victim of a ruse. Harmon says California has a strong policy of statutory scheme to protect its citizens against elder abuse. The judge overseeing the Californian case has set a hearing on July 17th. In a recent ruling, he upheld Presley's fraud claims against Fialco, whilst dismissing a conspiracy claim. The judge found that while some of the disputed contracts include clauses favoring Florida law, Presley's fraud and elder abuse and allegations should be governed by California's statutes. Fraud is a defense. Fraud is a defense of enforcement of a contract, the judge wrote in order earlier this month. In the Florida case, an evidentiary hearing on Presley's motion to dismiss for the alleged lack of jurisdiction is set for July the 21st. No matter where the legal feud eventually lands, the video of the document signing in 2023 will undoubtedly play a significant role. So what I'm going to do now, guys, is try and find this video, because it does seem to have disappeared. I've got a few clips of it. I want to play the whole of it. Let's see if we can do it, guys. I'm hoping that this is it here now. I've just found something. So that was part 2 of the Rolling Stone article that I think came out yesterday or the day before. I've only just woke up, so sorry if I'm a bit sort of jumbling up my words, but this is serious stuff, guys. We're learning as we go. We're learning as fans. We're learning as people that are defending on behalf of the people we love, Elvis, Lisa Marie, and the bloodline. We do it as fans. We don't do it from the point of view of money, of profit. No matter what the outcome of all this is, that was done for money. Priscilla wants money. Brigitte wants money. Okay, Priscilla might be in a difficult position. She might be in trouble financially, maybe. We don't know. She may have been facing bankruptcy. She may have wanted to find a way of boosting her income. Who knows why Priscilla took such drastic action. This is drastic. She's signing away her life. So no matter what Brigitte Kruse says, and we're quite open to listen to Brigitte, to try and understand what went on. Brigitte will see things from her point of view, her truth. She says, I would stand up in court and swear an oath to what I'm saying. Priscilla Presley will see it from her point of view. You know, guys, we as Elvis fans are very upset with Priscilla. She has done some very serious wrongdoing towards Elvis and Lisa Marie and Riley and Finley and Harper. Yeah, maybe even with Vernon. So we are always going to have a problem with Priscilla. Yeah. But I still think that when we're judging this situation, we need to be as unbiased as possible so we can give a very fair critique of what's happening here. I'm not ready to say, like Joe did at Rare Elvis Photos, that it's all okay. I understand where Brigitte's coming from. I'm not ready to do that. I'm not against Brigitte. I just want to know more. I want to know more. I won't let Brigitte chatting with me for half an hour or messaging me win me over. I want to see how this all plays out. We stand by Elvis. We stand by Elvis, don't we? We want the best for Elvis and his bloodline. We don't want the best for Priscilla. We don't want the best for Brigitte. We want the best for Elvis, because we come at this as Elvis fans. Elvis fans. And I think that's why Brigitte is trying to speak to the Elvis community, whether it be my show or Joe's show. So just in case you don't know, Joe did a video on this last night. I'm a big fan of Joe, but I think Joe has been a bit too soft with Brigitte. I really do. I think even Joe, I can't tell Joe what to do. I think we need to know more. We need to know more before we start taking sides. Now, of course, we at Defending Elvis fully expose Priscilla for her wrongdoing. She's done some pretty horrible things in her life concerning Elvis and Lisa, even with Riley and Finley and Harper. So we are upset with Priscilla. So we're always going to have a stance of defending against Priscilla's wrongdoing. Always going to have that. This is a bit different. This is like happening now as we speak. It involves a lot of money. There could be some serious wrongdoing happening here. We don't know Priscilla and Brigitte's involvement before they fell out concerning the money, the insurance policy. We don't really know the the negotiations between Priscilla and Riley after Lisa died. How involved with that process was Brigitte? You know, did she act in the interest of of Elvis and his bloodline? Do you get it? So if Brigitte has put Priscilla on a pedestal, which it does feel that way, that Brigitte sort of hero worshipped Priscilla, which she doesn't deserve, by the way, because Priscilla is, the way she's treated Elvis is disgusting. It just, in my opinion, for entertainment purposes, all of this is just opinions. If Brigitte has put Priscilla up here on a pedestal, maybe she took the wrong side. We as fans want our side. The love of Elvis, the love of Lisa, the love of Riley, Finley, Harper, you know, the bloodline. We want that looked after. So when Brigitte got involved with Priscilla, did she have our side interest at heart? Probably not. It was all about the money. It was all about the money. That's how it seems to me. And I think in the same way as Priscilla overtrusted Brigitte, Brigitte overtrusted Priscilla. So there's, in some ways, they're as bad as each other. As bad as each other. Like Pat said, two hands in the cookie jar. They both have their hands in the cookie jar. Yeah? Pat said that. And I think that's true. Greed, money, power, being connected with someone very famous, celebrity, in the end, could have caused a lot of problems. So it's early days. We're going to have to see how this all plays out. This is part 2. Please go and watch part 1. I'm now going to try and find this 27-minute video, and we're going to go through it together. But it's such a long video, it's probably going to take a few shows. Even this, what I've just read out now with the Rolling Stone article, which is a very, very detailed article, we have to go through it on a live stream as well. So we're not going to do that in one show. So we're going to go through this Rolling Stone article on a live stream so that Team Elvis, so that Elvis fans can contribute, critique it, review it, discuss it. Just opinions, remember, just opinions. We're not lawyers. We're just Elvis fans looking out for Elvis and his bloodline. Of course, we do have a lot of researchers now that join us that are helping us as well. So we are going to be doing a live stream going over the Rolling Stone article, which means this is going to take up our time for a couple of days. This is big. Yeah. I'd rather do other things, to be honest, shoot other Elvis related topics, but I do think this is hot off the press at the moment. So we are going to have to deal with this, guys. So I'm going to upload this and I'll be back for a live stream. My wife's away. I'm with the kids, so I'm not sure when. Okay, guys, take care. Love you all. Thanks, guys.